Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here and listening to me. And especially thank you for ATP and Ralph for having me here and speaking to you. I see, but I don't see. I clicked, it's here. Let's go back. Okay, perfect. So, travel. Travel is a very social activity. It's very personal, it's very intimate, it's something that brings everybody together. And travel is a big deal by any standard and any measure. I am Massimo Morin, I'm head of travel at AWS. AWS is a fully owned subsidiary of Amazon, and it is the market leader in IT technology over the internet that is commonly known as the cloud. We are now more than a $30 billion run rate business, and we have millions of active customers every month. What we are going to see here is actually some of their stories. What we are going to talk about is actually technology and personalization. When I was preparing this presentation, there has been a long debate with a close friend of mine. And we were talking about travel suppliers. And he was insisting and says, no, it's not travel suppliers. It's actually travel retailers. So we start discussing what is the distinction between a supplier and a retailer. A supplier seems more providers that try to push products towards their customers. Give a lot of options and let the customer choose whatever they want. A retailer, instead, is a company that is making some offers and tailoring the message directly to the customer and starting from the customer and working backward. This is the flywheel at Amazon. Amazon is the largest online retailers in the US. And this is how it works. We start from a selection of product. We look at the customer experience, the customer engagement that we have. That if the customer engagement is positive, that is driving traffic. And when you start having traffic to your digital channel, then you start attracting more sellers. And by attracting more sellers, you start having more product to present to the user. So as you see, retailers are putting the customer at the center of their growth flywheel. But what does it mean, putting the customer at the center of your ecosystem? It means putting yourself in the shoes of your customer and think about how they would like to see the product that you are trying to sell to them. You don't need to be operationally focused. You don't need to be competitor focused. There are a variety of strategies out there. If you are actually competitor focused, you are actually generating a user experience and a series of products that your competitor are putting in place, but you're not serving your customer. Being operationally focused, yes, can help to run your operation in your airline, but is not helping your customer making the right selection of the product that they would like to buy. At Amazon, our motto is to be the most customer-centric organization in the world. And we put ourselves in the shoes of our customer every day. But if you have to put yourself in the shoes of your customers, now you have to innovate on behalf of the customers. You have to start thinking about them and how is the experience going to be. So we need to find a way to engage our customers in a way that is able to provide them value and provide the beauty of all the product that we are offering them. So what we do is we need to experiment. We need to experiment in a variety of ways and see what works and what doesn't. We heard it yesterday. The secret of success is actually testing and experimenting. So to innovate in behalf of the customers, we have to find a mechanism to test our hypothesis and see what works and what doesn't. The challenge of this is that if you do not have the right mechanism and the experiment doesn't work, you are stuck with the outcome of the investment that you put there, and you do not know what to do with it. So the secret of innovation is actually reducing the cost of failure to zero. By doing this, this is what we do every day at Amazon. We keep testing and iterating and making changes. This is when I go to Amazon.com, and this is my welcome page. It's actually a bit dated. It's of last February. So you can see some recommendations, my orders, some of the products that I actually bought. So what we do is we are spending a lot of time on testing and iterating over and over. And Amazon is using as a mechanism AWS. AWS enables Amazon to do all this testing, and if something works, they are able to scale it up and deploy in production. And if it doesn't work, to scale it down and dispose it and pay for only what they use. Now, personalization is actually what distinguishes Amazon from anybody else. And personalization is hard. It's really hard because you need a lot of data. So you don't only need a mechanism for experimenting, but you need the data to experiment it on. And you need technology. You need machine learning, artificial intelligence, tailored algorithms that do this. Personalization is not presenting the most common selected product. Don't fall in the trap of the popularity context. This is what people buy. And you have to deal with interesting situation in which a customer that you have never seen before, so cold start, or brand new product that you do not have history. So we at Amazon develop a series of algorithms that deal with all of this. When I start talking to my customers, they all say, hey, we would like to become like Amazon. So tell us what is the secret behind it. And we listen. We work back from the customer as well. So we went to Amazon and say, hey, can we extract some of the services that you are using and making it available through AWS to all our customers? And they said, yes, absolutely. And what we did today, we have a variety of services that are actually started with Amazon. For example, running a call center. All the IT infrastructure needed to run a call center is now Amazon Connect. Or forecasting. We have a new service that is called Amazon Forecast that enables you to predict traffic, demand, and so forth. And the latest one is Amazon Personalize. Amazon Personalize is the same algorithm that Amazon uses. The interesting part is that this is only the algorithm, but it needs to be tuned on your data. You input your data. It's a very simple point and click. You input the data, you train the model, scale it up, scale it down, it's ready to do inference, and now you start inputting your customer, you get your recommendation, your personalization. Amazon has no access to this data. We don't touch it, we don't move it, we don't look at it. It's all specific for you. But let me give you some example on how some of our customers is using it. The first example that I want to present you is actually Spool. Spool is a company that is in India. It is presented recommendation of movies. This is like Netflix. And the example here is actually a standard recommendation engine. So based on the behavior of the customer and the customer selection, they are actually able to make recommendation in real time. This is a classic recommendation engine. They were able to put this in place in 3 days. The second example instead is a bit more on the retailing side. And I like this example because it is not affecting the search. Zola, is one of the biggest retailing companies that are in the US for wedding planner. What they do is they create the wedding list. So when their customer go there, they make a search of product that they want to put on the wedding list. What Zola does is, depending on the preferences of the customers, they are changing the order of the product that are being presented to the customer. So the recommendation there is, among all the products I'm presenting you, these are the top 3 that we believe is important for you. Think about it, what you can do when searching for flights or for searching for ancillaries. The last example, instead, is one of my favorites. It's by Domino's Pizza. Domino has a very interesting problem. They wanted to create some marketing campaign and target only some specific customers that like only certain type of pizza. But what they did is they looked at the location that the customer is, the time of the day, and the media, the channel that they wanted to engage. And they were pushing very targeted messages to the customers, saying, hey, you are nearby this Domino's Pizza store. Why don't you come in? We give you a $1 discount, and come and enjoy your favorite pizza. This is interesting because if you think about it, we heard yesterday, in the industry, we have around 85% of load factor. That means on a 737, 160 to 120 seats, we have around 30 empty seats on average. If you're able to make a targeted message to those customers that are willing to fill even one of those 30 empty average seats, that is full revenue for you. And this is, I think, very, very interesting, because the personalization comes to the customers and trying to predict what their choices are going to be. So this is what we are doing today. We have seen that this is a study from Accenture that there is a need to meet the customer demands. We want to predict what they want, and they want to engage with the digital channels and all the possible touch points. So at the end, we have seen that doing retailing is not only having a large selection of products. Doing retailing is actually enhancing the customer experience, putting the customer at the center of the ecosystem, and trying to understand what they really want. Put yourself on their shoes. This is what we are doing at Amazon every day, and this is what I really invite you to do when you go back to your office tomorrow or next week. I am Massimo Morin. I'm head of travel. If you want to know more about all these services, I'll be around for the next couple of hours, and I'll be very happy to explain you everything that we are doing in the travel space. We just launched a new website, aws.amazon.com/travel and /personalize, and you can see all the services and all the use cases that we have today. Thank you.